Okay, so I'm back on location. I have this, you can't really tell because of but it's an Audi S6 2014, I believe. It's gonna be a wash and wax, engine cleaning, and a basic interior cleaning. As fun as it may seem watching me detail vehicles, you can also be servicing customers and making money, even if you don't have a detailing business. So if you want to start your detailing business and make your first couple $100, check the description box down below for a thorough guide on how to get your first couple customers and make a few $100 by this weekend. Now on that basic interior cleaning, it's as simple as it gets. I mean, it's not dirty at all. I mean, so it's gonna be a thorough vacuum, I mean, of what it is. I mean, it's seriously, let me turn this up for you guys. It's seriously like not bad at all. So just a simple wipe down, if that, because there's not even that much layer of dust inside. So just, I mean, the most basic of basic. I mean, his main concern is just the windows and glass. But you know, just thoroughly cleaning, vacuuming that, because there's not much going on in the inside. And the exterior is going to be a wash and wax. So clearly the wheels are going to get touched up. They're going to be cleaned. Fenders, tires scrubbed down. The wheels are always going to be the dirtiest because it's just the brake dust, especially like Porsches, Audis, BMWs. Those are dirty. And then an engine cleaning. It's obviously it's not that bad. I mean, it's a 2014, so it's not gonna be all that bad. I mean, just a simple light layer of dust and dirt, nothing too crazy. So it shouldn't take that long. I'm taking like maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Just not, you know, I mean, it hasn't been cleaned since then, but it's not, you know, it's mostly just plastic. There's nothing too crazy going on here. So I'm not gonna record much because I have to be moving, but same thing like that last video. I'm just gonna update you guys as I go. I'm gonna use just APC spray down. I have the hose right here, and I moved the vehicle down because it was initially right here, further up the driveway, but I moved it closer to the bottom of the driveway. That way the run water could be a lot shorter to the street, and so I could push down all that dirtiness that's gonna fall down from the engine bay and from the wheel cleaning. That way it doesn't stain the driveway as much. And before you get started, I'm going to take the hose and just spray the ground with water, so it can help carry that the dirt away from just sitting down there and drying on the pavement. So I'm gonna start off with the engine cleaning, because then the rest of the car is gonna get dirty. Then I'm gonna do the wheels, tires, follow up with the wash and wax, and then do the interior, and then that'll be a day. All right, so I figured I could actually do a time lapse while I'm doing this engine cleaning. So pretty straightforward. I work from the top going down. I start with APC. I rinse it down, and then I work section by section. This day it was rather weird with the weather. There was an overcast, so you know there wasn't pure sun beating on me. But typically I do have sun just, you know, blazing down on me and on the detail. So that means the paint gets hot. That means the product dries a lot quicker. So it's advisable, at least in the heat, to work section by section. That way you don't that way the product doesn't run out, doesn't dry out before you can actually get to it. So I work section by section. Using the long fender brush really helps out here. I go for the big chunks with the fender brush, and then I follow up with a small detailed brush to get in like the actual bolts or crevices, because I don't want to use that small brush to do the entire hood, because that's gonna take long. So then I move on to the actual the cowl hood area, and again I use the bigger brushes for the bigger areas, and then I follow with a smaller brush for the more detailed areas. I know a lot of people want to like use a lot of APC and make it all sudsy. I'm just trying to get the job done, so I don't overly saturate it to get the suds out to make it look all fancy and cool. I just want to get it clean, so I just do what's needed, so I don't completely saturate the area. Like, so you're not gonna see a bunch of suds come up or anything, because it's, you know, I'm spraying enough for it to clean. I have it diluted 10-1. 4-1 would have helped. I didn't have 4-1 on hand, so 4-1 could have helped break up some of that dirt and grime. But 10-1 did its job. I worked on it a little longer. Now I used a detail buddy brush on here, but it was the bristles were too weak for some of the areas. So you know, not every brush is gonna do its job. You know, it was cleaning the large areas that weren't that bad, that brush that I'm using right there. But when it came down to, like, you know, trying to agitate something really bad, it didn't hold up. The bristles were too weak for it, which I switched on over to the lug nut brush. But again, it's the same process throughout the entire detail. The main thing is work in areas, section by section. Don't try to, you know, douse the entire engine if it's hot outside, because it's just gonna dry up. So work section by section, half the engine, a quarter of the engine, rinse it, then move on to the next one. Because again, what's the point of saturating the entire engine if by the time you get to it, it's completely dry? Again, if you're in a garage, or if you're working with decent weather, you can probably get away with it because it's not gonna dry. But it just depends on how the type of engine, how complex it is. If it's just plastic panels like what you see in most modern day cars, it's pretty straightforward. You can use just 2 brushes to get most of it done. So it just all depends on the engine and the results you're trying to get. Alright, next I'm going to blow the standing water with the Metro Sidekick. It comes really in handy to get that standing water off. Yes, you can get away with a towel if you don't have this. Of course, you can use a towel just to mop up the water, the standing water. But obviously, air is going to get into areas that your towel just simply can't get to. So it does come in handy. And next was I'm going to follow, because I'm not going to get the detail of the cleaning 80% correct on the first pass. Once I dry it, it's going to reveal what areas I missed, some spots that are still dirty. So with this towel, I'm going around the entire engine and just touching up the spots that I have missed, that were covered by the water, or I thought was clean and they were. So it's just a touch-up phase. Don't think when you're cleaning you have to get 100% of it off. It's about checking your work. You clean it, you dry it, you check it, you agitate again, check it, dry it. You just repeat that cycle over and over. So here, literally, I'm just touching up the spots with just a towel, a brush on dedicated areas. That way, I don't have to rinse off the entire vehicle again. So just check your work as you go. That's the key to success, to getting great results for your customers. Okay, so there it goes. I haven't dressed it yet. It's about 80% done. There's still going to be like dirt trapped in these small areas. I could bust with the steamer. I can spend more time on it, but I mean, for just a maintenance engine cleaning that hasn't been cleaned in a couple years, I mean, this is pretty good. Towards the end of the detail, I'm going to dress this, or debating if I should do it right now or after the detail. But I'm still going to dress up the plastic to make it pop out, to make it really pop. But yeah, that's the engine. Okay, I lied to you guys. I went in and just dressed it right now. As you can tell, it's much more dark, much richer, as they say. It's just really popping more. There's more contrast to it because I use hyper dressing 4:1. Just sprayed it on the towel and wiped everything down. Nothing too complicated. Didn't dress anything on top because there's no trim, just on the plastic trim area. So it looks 10 times better now. It's really popping. Like that's it's just a darker, richer color when you dress the black trim and plastic. So it looks much better. Okay, so the engine cleaning is done. Now I'm gonna move to the wash and wax, starting with the wheels and tires. Sometimes I'll just go with an O&R, and then I'll do the wheels and tires at the end. But because I have access to water hose, the driveways, I have plenty of room. I'm just gonna go ahead and just do wash the wheels and tires with just traditional IPC, using the hose, rinsing it down. And for the waxing part, for the washing, I'm gonna do an O&R. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of cloudy, so I'm gonna move just in case it starts raining on me. Let's see if I can drop down the... Yeah, it's a bit cloudy, so I'm gonna start moving a bit quicker just in case it starts raining or something. I can move into the car. I can move into the garage once I finish the washing and cleaning. So this is the first wheel that I'm cleaning, and most of the time, you have a sense of how to clean a wheel or anything detailing related. But on the first wheel, I figure out what's gonna work, what brush works better, how much APC I should spray. So like the first wheel takes me the longest, just because every wheel is gonna be a bit different. How long the brake does, how bad it's been etched in. So the first wheel, I'm kind of just figuring out the system I'm going to use, and then I get faster and faster. So this one might take me 6 minutes, the other one takes me 5 minutes, and then like 4 minutes for the other last 2 wheels. So I'm just figuring out the system, and then I keep on improving wheel by wheel to finish it up as quickly as I can. Okay, all 4 wheels are done. Tires, wheels, barrels, fenders, just lightly wiped down because it's the fabric, so you can't really clean them. Just take off the dirt a little bit. But now, like it's coming. I think the rain's coming. Looks like it, so I got to keep on hurrying up. So now I'm going to. Sorry for you. Okay, so now I'm gonna wash the car. I'm gonna go with O&R. I'm gonna watch it so ridiculously fast. That way I can get to the clean part. The clean, because I want to hurry up. I'm gonna use Maguire's Gold Class just as a clay lubricant. I'm gonna fill it up, make it super soapy. I have the clay bar, and I'm gonna just go as quick as I possibly can to knock out the clean process. So wash super fast with the O&R. Then I'm gonna go to soapy water, dunk it, and move much more efficient. Yes, I could use the O&R for the clay lubricant, but because it's more efficient as far as being fast with the soap water. In this instance, because I'm trying to beat the weather, so I'll be able to knock it out much quicker with the soap. Okay, so one thing you guys need to keep in mind is that when you're on the job site and you're doing this as a business, there's going to be times where you're going to just do things differently. So this time I did change it up because again I was against the weather on this one, so I wanted to beat it before it started if it was gonna rain. So I did an O&R wash. I rinsed it down, and then I used the second bucket with my Meguiar's Gold Class soap. And I had a towel in there, and I used that as a clay lubricant because I was moving as quickly as I could because I wanted to beat that weather. So was it the most, was that as efficient? Aside from using just O&R as a clay lubricant as well, I think so. Because again, I was booking it. I don't really care about like being fancy or anything. I just wanted to get it done. So having that big soapy water just to let it run down, not having to spray it with a spray bottle for my clay lube, it seemed more efficient to me at the time. I think it worked out pretty well, especially because I had the hose on hand. I was able to wash it, O&R wash, rinse it down, clay the paints with the soapy water, rinse it down, and then continue on. And then I always use the Metro Sidekick to dry off the standing water. I'm telling you, it helps out a lot. All right, guys, sorry for the wait. Aside from me having to work fast because of the weather, although I think I'm gonna miss it. I don't think it's gonna come this way. So I think we're good. But aside from the weather, I was moving quick, and the battery was low, so I was charging it in the garage. So I had no battery to record even if I wanted to. So far update, I've clayed, waxed it. I used both the Optimum car wax. I use the Optimum car wax. Give me 1 second for you guys. The Optimum car wax on one side of the vehicle, and then I applied a Chemical Guys black light on the other side, just for I was testing some things. Wanted to compare some things, applying it to the paint. So all the wheels are cleaned up. The wheelbarrows are cleaned up. Tires are dressed. Took off some gunk that was on the wheels. So all 4 wheels now are looking as spiffy as they should be. So far, let me actually check the time because I'm not entirely sure. It's 4:30, so I've been here 3 hours. I started exactly at 1:30 is when I started unloading the van. So I cleaned the front grille, brushed this, cleaned off the bugs that were there. Wheels are all nice and cleaned up. Right, I didn't take these off. They're on each wheel, so it'll take more work. And again, it was not going for perfection by any means. Clean up the exhaust tips a little bit. I just used M105 just to bring a little bit of life back, mostly on the top in here. It actually restoring them would take much longer, so just to give a bit more life, because that's what the customer wanted. So that's where I am right now. So what I have left is I have to clean the wheels. I have to take this little gunk off, whatever that is, if you can tell. If I could even remove it actually, but I'll see. So touch the glass and then clean up the inside. Again, I showed you guys in the beginning, it's not that bad. I mean, look, what is there to clean? Like, even there's hardly anything there. So like I say, he's primarily focused on just the glass, the windows and glass. So I made a light wipe down, a light vacuum, and then I'll be done. So right now I'm exactly at 3 hours. I got here a little later than I wanted to. I was supposed to be at 1, got here like at 1:15. Then I spoke with the customer, moved cars, set up. I started at 1:30. So, and just to give you an example, like this is too messy. Like these 3 buckets, I didn't put my gloves or these water bottles in the trash bag. So this is just way too much. Like this is unacceptable. A tripod, that's just way too much stuff all over the place. Like I can't. It messes up the workflow. So right now I'm gonna put everything up. I'm gonna dump out the water. I'm gonna put the towels in the towel bag here, which is just this old soccer bag that I had, that I threw the old towels in. I'm gonna get a trash bag, put the trash in there. I'm gonna get whatever I can from there and put it back in the van, just to clean it up. I mean, that's too much for me. Like that's too many tools and products out that I'm not using. It looks unprofessional and it just gets in my way. So I always try to keep, and I mean towards the end, like when I'm done, it makes it so much easier to just pack up and get out of here, instead of like then having to recoup everything and clean everything at the end. It just, as you go, keep it clean, keep it organized, and then at the end, 1 or 2 things in the van, accept payment, and you're out. All right, there it goes, 6 o'clock. It's all finished up, wash and waxed, basic interior cleaning, clean up the engine. Interior there was not much to do. It was just literally just a simple vacuum, wiping down the interior panels, cleaning up the glass and mirrors. Customer definitely enjoyed it, and he's very knowledgeable with the detailing, with what it takes to do detailing. So he knew exactly what to look for, and he knew exactly what he was looking for when he contacted me, which is great. That's all said and done. Here I didn't take out the mats or anything because again, it wasn't dirty at all. So for one, I knew there wasn't going to be anything underneath, and two, because it's so tight to the ground, it's really snug in there. Nothing's going to sneak in underneath and really be under there. So it wasn't. I mean, I lifted it to check, but there wasn't anything there. So no need to remove the mats out of there if not needed. Because it's just a basic cleaning. You know, I still thoroughly cleaned it with ATC and a brush and a towel. But I just did it all right here, no biggie whatsoever. Because again, it wasn't that bad. So yeah, that is the detail for today. It was just about 5 hours of actual work. Again, like I always say, including the video stuff, it adds time. But actual working, it was 5 hours.